that's the thing, is that you look at it and you think, the Hurricanes have won with 5 overs to spare, essentially. That was a walk in the park. But I want to go back to when Jason Sanger and David Warner were controlling the game totally, going around 10 runs and over, hadn't lost a wicket. All the things that I talked about that the Hurricanes were so strong with through the home and away season, it was kind of unravelling outside of probably Nathan Ellis, who kept it together throughout. What turned around, other than obviously getting Sanger and Warner out in reasonably quick succession? How did it change? And did you think the Hurricanes were in trouble at that point?
Well, the drinks break came at the perfect time, the 10-over mark, because the Thunder were marching towards the 200 target quite comfortably, actually. They were set a beautiful platform. I was particularly impressed with Sanger. That was a brilliant 50 that he made as well.
So 67 off just 42 balls.
Yeah, he was particularly aggressive against Riley Meredith, who bowled fast, actually. And you could see the ball speed at the ground. And Sanger played him beautifully. He went after him. He attacked him if he pitched up. He took on a hooked one for 6 of the pull shot. So his batting was actually sublime. His running also between the wickets with David Warner was a standout. I mean, he's an animal, David Warner. He's such an athlete between the wickets, really putting the fielding group under pressure, and he did. You could see that, and that was part of his methodology, and it was working. And then the break came, and then Ellis took the ball himself and executed a couple of really impressive slow balls, got a couple of wickets, and that sort of changed the whole momentum of the game right there. As a captain, it was probably either him or Riley Meredith straight out of the break, went for himself, got the job done. And economically, we've talked about their bowling structure, the way it was structured up with the 2 quicks at the front, Meredith and Stanlake. Stanlake got injured, so they had to find a replacement there. And then they had Jordan and Ellis and the spinners. So they've sort of steered away from their spinners as being priority. So they've had Hatzoglu bowled a couple of overs. Chowdhury's bowled a few throughout the tournament, but not a specific front liner. That's really interesting. Jordan was particularly expensive on this night. Uncharacteristically bowled wide, didn't execute his. It just was a rare off night. Luckily, Nathan Ellis had a stunner. So, kept them to under 200 on the back of his individual performance.
So much to talk about from a Hurricanes point of view, and we'll get to Nathan Ellis from a leadership point of view a little bit later, but I want you to expand on his repertoire with the ball, and particularly his slower ball, how it seems so difficult to pick from a batting point of view. If you're out there facing him, are you almost playing for the slower ball rather than the quick ball, or is that going too far?
No, I would be personally, and I'm sure others do that. I would know that at a matchup, Nath would bowl me 3 slow balls out of 6. So I've got to deal with that, and that's the conundrum, because you can often get caught then by his quicker delivery, and if you're not good enough to catch up with it, well, it's a dot ball. So vice versa, if you're looking for the quick ball, then his change of pace and variation is going to have to. That's why it's hard to take down, like, consistently.
Because that's what I wanted to ask you, because a spinner has an arm ball.
Yeah.
So you're obviously playing for a normal spinner. The arm ball might come, I don't know, once or twice every 3 or 4 overs. Yeah. But from a fast point of view, is it easier to adjust to a quicker ball from a fast bowler as opposed to, where is it? Oh, it's the slow ball. By the time you've picked it, it's you've missed out the opportunity of scoring.
In my history and my methodology, that's exactly how you set up to the best players with good change of pace. So I'd definitely set up for the slow ball.
Yeah.
And then upskill when you need to get that quicker pace. The one thing with Nath is he's not 145. Like, it's not Riley Meredith. So that change up, you're not frighteningly short of time. You can catch up. It's just how you deal with it. So don't think that he's going to bowl his on-pace ball in the same spot either. It's either a real hard length, it's a really good Yorker, or it's a wide line Yorker. Like, he's got also variations in his artillery for his on-speed ball as well. So and that's what makes him super impressive. And that's what makes the guys who have been great at that, Ben Lachlan, AJ Tye, throughout our history, that's why they're difficult.
Yeah, he's the new version of those two. They're the two that immediately came to mind.
Well, it's funny you said that, because he's nearly first picked in Australia's T20 side now, on the back of what he can do. And he just has the ability, when the game's getting out of reach, come in, deliver an over of 5 or 6 runs, maybe a wicket, and then someone like Zampa up the other end will come in and bowl 2 really good balls. All of a sudden, the opposition's under pressure, play a rush shot, you get a wicket. So the partnership bowling with Nathan Ellis is critical. He's unbelievably good. So it's great for him personally, not only to execute in the game, but get the job done for his team.
Here is Nathan Ellis speaking at the post-match presentation.
Pretty surreal at the moment. I want to thank the boys. I said it a bit earlier, I'm in awe of you guys as a team this year. The only word I can come up with is proud. We played some bloody brilliant cricket this year and we deserve to be here tonight. And I obviously can't go a moment without thanking the Hobart faithful. This one's for all of cricket fans in Tasmania. Tasmanian cricket's changed my life, and I feel really honoured to be a part of your first championship down here. So this one's for you guys, all the past players, and everyone who's been involved in the Hurricanes. I'm not going to stand here and say it was me that ran the ship all year round and got us here. I mean, we have a really amazing staff, a really amazing leadership group, and a lot of experience in our side. We had moments where all members of our squad stood up throughout the tournament. So as a captain, I just feel really lucky to have this group, and I'm up here now. It feels pretty surreal, but to be up here now, I feel very honoured.
There you go, Nathan Ellis there speaking on stage after the Hurricanes win. Talk to us about his leadership, because he's been in the job a couple of years now. From the outside, it was like, Nathan Ellis is captain. That's an interesting move. And again, that's purely from the outside perception. He's clearly shown that he can do it. Were you surprised at how good he has gone in that captaincy role, that on-field leadership role?
No, not really. I think that he's grown in his own mind about his ability. Once you play for Australia, you sort of get this inner thought that you're accepted and you're a gun player and blah blah blah. And when you certainly do it on the international stage, you come back to a domestic stage, and there's almost this expectation that you are a natural leader. So with Nath, you know that I'll tell you a story around the Australian unit. Like, he's such an overtrainer and trains so hard that they have to curb his time in warm-up, in training, and that's so he doesn't burn himself out when the game comes around. That's how intense he is and how meticulous he is about making sure that he's prepared for the game. So in that style of leadership, it's no surprise that when he walks out crosses the white line for the game, that everyone behind him is going to know the level which they have to take out to the park. So that leadership on field is really cool. There's also the offside field. Now, he's a great guy, really nice person, and that is really important in the dressing room as well. So to be able to mix with not only your local players and get the best out of them, but also the international players. So he said that he's got a really nice partnership with Chris Jordan. Now, that's important as well. So yeah, look, it's not a surprise. It's never easy when you first do it. So, take Marcus Stoinis as well, who's faced pressure. Is he going to be a better captain year 2, 3, 4 down the track? More than likely, yes. Because you sort of work out that there's 10 other players that you have to worry about. And then the other 4 on the bench, or 5 or 6 or whatever it is. So you sort of move from an individualistic point of view to, how do I look after the team? So I think Nate's done that really, really, really well.